San Francisco beat the Chargers 41-17. A 24-point margin usually invites a simple story. One team dominated every snap. But the exact yards per play rates were 4.458 for San Francisco and 4.241 for Los Angeles. The gap was only 0.22. The exhaustive record points somewhere else. San Francisco created more chances, stayed on the field, finished every red zone trip, generated a few concentrated explosives, and converted 2 late short fields. This film will account for those layers once, show what PFF and YOLO add, and mark what none of the sources can prove. The official ESPN feed establishes the score, drives, clock, play text, and outcome totals. Deterministic arithmetic can transform those observations into margins and shares. PFF is provider charting, grades, pressure charges, selected splits, and matchup attribution. Those are useful, but they are not the official denominator and not causal effects. The NFL Pro Q and generic YOLO pass are candidate retrieval evidence. They improve review completeness, but they do not identify players, routes, coverages, assignments, rush wins, or exact calls. Chargers photos provide credited visual context only. This video uses YOLO findings, never YOLO clips, NFL Pro frames, or overlays. The earlier live snapshot stopped at 41-9. The completed game added a 55-yard Chargers drive, a 28-yard fourth down touchdown from DJ Uyegale to Gerand Bradley, and a 2-point conversion to Evan Svoboda. The official analysis must include that drive. Before the final drive, Los Angeles had 174 yards on 46 plays and 9 points, 6 from defense. The late drive supplied 24% of its final yardage and 47% of its final points. Removing it is not a valid counterfactual, but separating the 41-9 state is essential context. San Francisco produced 20 first downs to 8, ran 72 plays to 54, and gained 321 yards to 229. Yet both teams completed 18 passes. The displayed yards per pass were 4.9 to 4.7, and exact yards per play differed by only 0.22. San Francisco threw 2 interceptions. Los Angeles committed 1 turnover, a kickoff return fumble. The Chargers therefore 1 turnover margin 2-1. Both teams also scored 1 direct non-offensive touchdown. Those facts reject a generic turnover story and force the analysis toward possession quality, conversion, and finishing. San Francisco's offense scored 28 and its kicker added 6. Los Angeles' offense scored 8 and its kicker added 3. That is 34-11, a 23-point advantage. Direct defense and special teams scoring was 7-6, only a 1-point San Francisco edge. The score origin table counts direct points only. A return touchdown also removes the receiving team's expected offensive possession. A turnover creates new field position. Those indirect paths matter, but without a valid play-level model, they cannot be converted into invented points. The accounting stays exact. The causal graph carries the rest. A symmetric 2-factor decomposition splits the 92-yard gap. The 18-play difference contributes 78.29 yards. The rate difference contributes 13.71. That is 85.1% volume and 14.9% rate. It is an arithmetic identity, not a causal estimate. Conversions extend drives. Punts, turnovers, failed fourth downs, and return touchdowns exchange possessions. Score changes run-pass mix and clock use. The 18 extra plays identify where to look upstream. They do not say a coach can independently choose 72 plays while holding everything else fixed. The complete drive ledger preserves all 27 possessions, including the punt return score, the 0-play kickoff fumble, and the endgame kneel. San Francisco generated 6 offensive field goal scoring drives. Los Angeles generated 2. Both had repeated 3-and-outs, but San Francisco kept creating later chances. Trey Lance's 37-yard scramble reached the San Francisco 5 and briefly put the Chargers above 56% in ESPN win probability. The next 3 snaps gained 2 yards, and Los Angeles kicked from the 3. San Francisco answered with a 4-play touchdown drive, then returned the next Chargers punt for a touchdown. Justin Herbert played 3 PFF snaps and went 1 of 2 for 9 official yards. Trey Lance went 10 of 16 for 73 officially. DJ Uiagalelei went 7 of 15 for 80, with 1 sack and the late touchdown. Tiny, changing units make a pooled quarterback verdict inappropriate. PFF graded 19 completions on 34 attempts for 179 yards. ESPN records 18 of 33 for 162 gross and 161 net. The main difference is Orond Gadsden's nullified 18-yard catch. Adding it back would erase the procedural failure the analysis is trying to explain. On the selected Trey Lance detail page, PFF charts 13 clean dropbacks, 9 completions for 71 yards and 5.5 yards per attempt. Under pressure, it charts 5 dropbacks, 2 completions on 4 throws for 19 yards, plus 1 scramble. Time to throw rose from 2.27 to 3.18 seconds. PFF charts play action at 4 of 4 for 21 yards, but the displayed rate is 5.3 yards per attempt. No play action is 7 of 13 for 69, also 5.3. The screen cell is 1 completion for 5 yards. Completion percentage changes. Output rate does not establish a play action answer. For Lance, PFF charts 0 of 2 deep, 1 of 3 medium for 18 yards, 8 of 10 short for 64, and 2 of 2 behind the line for 8. Across all Chargers play-by-play, 4 exact deep incompletions are known. 2 came on 3rd and 2, but the full calls, reads, and alternatives remain unknown. PFF's receiving footer has 19 catches on 33 targets, 179 graded yards, 77 after the catch, and 3 drops. Gadsden's 42 includes the nullified catch. Jaron Bradley's 28-yard touchdown came on the final drive, and the screen table still contains only 1 5-yard play. PFF's pass-blocking page charges Chargers blockers with 5 hurries, no hits, and no sacks. Kaltenberger has 2, Logan Taylor, Scott Matlock, and Cole Strange have 1 each. The official sack lost 1 yard, and PFF assigns it to Uiagalelei's pressure-to-sack line rather than a blocker. That is charting, not full responsibility. Chargers running backs combined for 17 carries and 31 yards, 1.82 per carry. Trey Lance gained 42 on 2 carries. His 37-yard scramble alone produced 54.4% of the team's 68 rushing yards. PFF's non-scramble directional rows were 19 attempts for 32 yards. Los Angeles committed 4 offensive formation or shift penalties on snaps with apparent positive gains, 21, 18, 11, and 4 yards. 3 came on 3rd down. 2 appeared to convert. The official raw penalty total was 47 yards, but that number does not express the lost down-end distance leverage. Those snaps were illegal. A legal formation could change the defense, timing, route release, blocking, and outcome. Later downs and clock would also change. The valid conclusion is operational. Legality was upstream of drive sustainability. The invalid conclusion is that the Chargers really gained 54 more yards than the box shows. Los Angeles gained only 39 official yards on 14 third downs, 2.79 per play, with 2 conversions. San Francisco went 6 of 16, add 4th down, and both teams had 17 high-leverage attempts. San Francisco converted 7, the Chargers converted 3. That is the cleanest immediate opportunity separator. The Chargers' only official red zone trip reached the 5 after Lance's scramble and ended in a 21-yard field goal. Their final touchdown began at the San Francisco 28, so it is correctly outside the red zone denominator. San Francisco reached the red zone 4 times and scored 4 touchdowns. PFF specialized pass rush report charts 24 Chargers pressures, 4 hits and 20 hurries, but no sacks. On true pass sets, it charts 19 pressures, 3 hits and 16 hurries, again no sacks. The broader defense footer differs by 1 pressure, so the specialized route remains the primary count. Garmin Randolph and Nadeem Tucker each receive 3 PFF pressures while displaying a 0 win rate. Bud Dupree has 2 pressures on 6 rushes. Lander Barton has 1 on 2. These tiny rows are descriptive. A pressure can occur without a PFF win, and neither field independently proves point prevention or responsibility. PFF charts 32 coverage targets, 18 catches, 174 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and 6 breakups. Junior Carlson's pick six is a certain 6-point outcome. His 90.7 coverage grade summarizes all charted snaps. Devin Grant intercepted a pass while receiving a lower 58.5 grade. PFF attributes 4 catches for 37 yards to Avery Smith and the 17-yard Watkins touchdown to Nico Reed. Those are matchup rows, not labels for man, zone, leverage, or checks. Against the run, McCormick's 37-yarder supplied 25.3% of San Francisco's rushing total. Volume then grew with the lead. PFF charts J.K. Scott with 8 punts for 381 yards, a 47.6 gross average, and 35.4 net. 4 punts were returned for 98 yards. 4 landed inside the 20, 2 were downed, 2 were fair caught, and 1 traveled 62 yards to the 13. Jacob Cowing's 83-yard touchdown was ESPN's largest win probability swing and removed an expected Chargers possession. The other 3 returns totaled 15 yards. The failure was concentrated and high leverage. Meanwhile, 3 PFF special teams pages displayed no attempts despite official attempts and populated PFF punt and kickoff pages. Those cells are missing, not zeros. San Francisco's 4 official 20-plus yard scrimmage gains all came before halftime and totaled 102 yards. The other 32 first-half plays produced 106 yards, only 3.31 per play. A few explosives created separation. That is different from saying every ordinary snap dominated. After Carlson's pick six, San Francisco answered with a 14-play, 74-yard touchdown drive lasting 6 minutes 59. The next touchdowns began at the Chargers' 30 after a failed 4th down and at the 20 after the kickoff return fumble. Sustaining, then cashing field position, expanded 27-9 into 41-9. The frozen PFF package includes offense, passing, selected passing detail, receiving, matchups, rushing, direction, blocking, defense, pass rush, coverage, run defense, punting, kickoffs, and the visibly incomplete special teams pages. Low-interest player rows were preserved in machine-readable form rather than silently discarded. Official ESPN totals remain the outcome denominator. PFF's offense and defense pages describe graded rotations. Selected detail tabs describe one chosen player. Direction does not name a run scheme. Matchups do not name a coverage shell. Pressures do not assign causal responsibility. Missing special teams cells stay missing. The bounded NFL Pro Review queue covered 101 plays. All Chargers and San Francisco dropback pools, Chargers rush and scramble rows, 4 return punts, 4 exact deep misses, and 2 interceptions. Both sideline and end zone were sampled for every play, producing 1,130 hash-verified frames with 0 integrity failures. YOLO 11N ran across every frame. Mean on-field person candidates were 20.835 overall, 22.037 from sideline, and 19.634 from end zone. The higher sideline count includes bench edge personnel and cannot be promoted to a formation or personnel count. 395 frames contained 730 sports ball candidates. Manual review found useful stationary football examples, but also white caps, field markings, and equipment. 30 overlays covered 15 priority plays across both angles. The output helps retrieve review moments. It does not track a trajectory. The frozen regular season reference assigns -1.744 expected EPA per sack and -4.32 per interception. It uses 7.01 yards per non-sack pass and 4.5 yards per rush. Applied to one preseason game, these are scenario comparisons, not transported causal effects. San Francisco's clean non-sack pass rate was 4.861. Los Angeles was 4.909. Both were far below 7.01, and the Chargers' residual was 8.1 yards less negative. Both rushing rates were also below 4.5. San Francisco's rush residual was only 6 yards better. Exact score subtraction rejects the one-play story. Remove only San Francisco's punt return points, and the score is 34-17. Remove both non-offensive touchdowns and offense plus kicking is 34-11. These are arithmetic displays, not alternate games, because later possessions and clock would change. Give the Chargers a touchdown instead of their red zone field goal. Then give them touchdowns after both failed fourth-down drives. That extreme 18-point arithmetic ceiling still leaves San Francisco ahead 41-35. It is deliberately unrealistic, but it shows that one isolated conversion does not carry the whole margin. The Chargers used Herbert, Lance, and Uiagalelei. San Francisco used 3 quarterbacks too. PFF snap totals show rolling reserve units. Percentages built from Herbert's 2 throws, 3 Lance blitz dropbacks, 1 red zone trip, or a handful of pass rushes are descriptive. They cannot estimate future player quality. The regular season priors may not transport to preseason reserves. The frozen data do not include a 2026 play-level EPA model, so yard residuals remain yards. At 41-9, calls and defensive objectives differ from a close game. PFF includes nullified snaps and incomplete routes. The analysis preserves those fractures instead of forcing one truth table. The next review order is concrete. 4 procedural no plays, the 3 snaps after the scramble reach the 5, both 3rd and 2 deep misses, 4 returned punts, pressure to outcome conversion, 2 short field touchdowns, the final drive as its own score state stratum, and both Chargers interceptions. The best supported account is opportunity and finishing under changing score state. San Francisco stayed on the field, created 18 extra plays, converted 4 more high-leverage downs, finished every red zone trip, hit 4 first-half explosives, and cashed 2 second-half short fields. Lowe's Angels did not lose because of 1 grade, 1 call, or 1 return. PFF refines the mechanism. YOLO proves the review corpus was broad and helps locate candidate moments. Neither source identifies a single schematic treatment or a player as the causal effect. The exhaustive work matters because it removes easy stories, preserves the real constraints, and turns uncertainty into a visible part of the football film.